to follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you here on a Football Friday live downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino, the biggest sports book in the entire world. And we are loaded today. We will hit the Week 1 slate in the National Football League, latest point spreads, totals, player props, survivor angles, injuries, college football games today. Who is on upset alert this weekend? Chuck Edel on the program coming up in 30 minutes. He is the defending Circa Friday Night Football Invitational champion. He was 2-1 with us last week. He specializes in college totals. Both of his winners were on totals last week. Mike Somich, VSiN host, in an hour, his best bets for Week 1. And we will talk Chiefs, Chargers many times today throughout the show. And in 90 minutes, that's with Todd Lebo, who covers the Chiefs for Sports Radio 810 in Kansas City, Pauly. And that's where we are going to begin. We will get to what happened last night at the back end of win-lose in this hour. But on the screen right now, Chiefs holding steady as a 3-point favorite. I do see 3.5 out there as we speak. It looks like FanDuel has minus 118 on the 3. Most other spots are flat, and the total now up to 47.5. A common narrative, of course, that you hear leading into every single season is, how big is that Super Bowl hangover going to be for the team that lost it? Well, how about this? Super Bowl losers have won 6 of their last 8 season opening games, 4-4 ATS. It was really before this current stretch when it was abysmal. They lost 12 of the previous 17, and they are 2-15 ATS. So that common narrative, early part of the century, kind of out the window here lately. And, you know, we get into some of these numbers here, but Andy Reid is also like dynamite in Week 1 when he's on the road, Paul.
I mean, I played them money line. I think they're going to win because they've won 7 in a row over the Chargers, and they've won 17 consecutive one-score games. And every time it's close, the Chargers find a way to blow it. 0-9 the last 2 years in games decided by 3 points or fewer. So the games are close, but Kansas City finds a way to pull it out. They're going to try to win the division 9 years in a row and get back to the Super Bowl. So you are exactly right with Reid. You're right with the dominance in the division, 51-9 against the division going back. And I just think they'll be able to have success moving the ball against this Chargers defense, which I felt was kind of phony last year. We'll get into the numbers coming up, but they only allowed 17 points per game. And now you're worried about, Slater's out, Becton's sick. I think there's too much going on, and I think the Chiefs will come out of there victorious tonight and get the win and cover.
Yeah, when you look at the scores from last year, both of them really low scoring, 19-17 the second time, 17-10 the first time around, and the total now beefed up here to 47.5. Kansas City ran the ball a lot in those games. In fact, they were running it like 25 times. They didn't have a ton of success. The first game was 25 for 96. The second game combined overall, they ran it 26 times for 101 yards and 1 touchdown. The Chargers overall last year were an easy team to run the ball on, and that should, in theory, be the case this year based on their overall talent. And also, they did, I don't want to say that they went way over their skis with expectations last year, because their win total was either 8.5 or 9, and they won 11, but also they had the easiest schedule based on teams that they were playing in the entire league. It was super easy. Plus, they had a plus 12 turnover margin, which you figure probably will not repeat this year.
Yeah.
And more now on Andy Reid overall, when the spread is in this range. So with Kansas City and the Chiefs are between a 3-point dog and a 3-point favorite, which is what they are tonight. They are 50-24-1 ATS in those games. And how about this? In Week 1 on the road with Andy Reid as their head coach, this is neutral, but I'd still consider it like a road game for them. They are 6-0 ATS with Reid on the road in Week 1. I mean, this guy, the whole thing about his career has been he's like the best coach ever off a bye, and you always want to be looking at betting on his teams after a bye. That also factors into he has the entire offseason to prepare.
Yeah.
And so they come out in Week 1 and they just, they've been automatic pretty much in this spot.
Here's what I was reading in the summer about Warren Sharp and Chargers defense. They played the 6th easiest schedule of offenses and the 6th easiest schedule of quarterbacks. So the numbers were phony and a little bit fugazi. Minshew benched, Young benched, Fields benched, Nix rookie, the Hayner-Rattler combo, Winston, Levis, May, O'Connell. Who beat them? Mahomes, Murray, Jackson, Mahomes again, Mayfield, lit them up. Burrow lit them up, but they won the game. So that's a 1-5 record against above-average quarterbacks. So again, I think just based on they always find a way to win. They've owned them in the last 7. The luck factor in the 17 consecutive one-score games. The fact what this defense did against good quarterbacks. And it's a great discussion, too, because I like them and you like them. This is a game that Herbert usually doesn't win. This guy is now 41-40. His career record as a quarterback. And I know he's had some bad coaches, but that's stench and stink. But what happened in the playoff loss to Houston when they were expected to win and 4 interceptions and a pick 6. He's got to play well in these big games, and when the spotlight's on, he's got to do well and move the ball here and get a big win and see if he can get a playoff win and take this organization to the next level.
Yeah, I'm going to let this total breathe for a little longer.
That's a good. I'm with you on that one.
Because if it keeps going up and it touches like 48.5 or somehow like a 49, I'll be looking at playing the under. The last 6 times that these two teams have played, the under is 5-1 overall. And going to be like more, we saw last year with like the lack of explosiveness with Kansas City in the air. And again, like I talked about, the last 2 times that they played, meaning last year, they ran the ball more than 50 times combined in those 2 games. And Jim Harbaugh is a run-first coach for sure. I just think we're going to see potentially like maybe longer possessions. Again, the divisional familiarity between these two teams could come into exist, and more kind of like a grind-out type of game rather than like an aerial shootout here that I think the market is kind of expecting by bumping this total up.
Well, you don't know about the field either. It was a mess last year, although it was a high-scoring game. But it's, if these guys are slipping out there on defense, I got to see how that works as well. And one respected group bet the over earlier in the week as well, was responsible for the move. And plus, it's been a ATM machine going back. Chiefs second half unders and fourth quarter unders going back the last couple of years too. The second half unders are 71%. Since 2023 for Kansas City.
And by the way, Pauly, based on what you just said, there's nothing wrong with waiting to watch the game with your own eyes tonight.
Yeah.
To see if the field conditions are going to be a problem or if they have it corrected from a year ago. And you can maybe get involved with a total early if you see something like it's not going to be a problem, or, oh my God, here we go again. It's going to be the Eagles Packers all over again. Have you done anything yet with Xavier Worthy's rushing prop?
Yeah, over 3.5.
You got over 3.5.
Yes.
That's a really moved up.
Yeah.
So
they give him the ball at least once a game. I think he can get that done today. And let me know because I got a question for you.
Okay. Because he had at least 1 rush in 14 out of 20 games last year. That includes the playoffs. I graded this at 4.5. 11 overs to that number last year. Against the Chargers, for what it's worth, he had 0 carries in 1 game and 1 carry for 5 yards in the other. Go ahead. What's your question?
Okay. Well, no, Rice. So I think he's a big part of the offense. And they'll see some imagination and creativity. So what's going on with the Chargers tight end situation? So you look, and Disley's number 1 and Conklin's number 2. But Conklin's got higher props. Anytime touchdown, receptions, yards, all of it. Made a nice rapport last year with Disley.
He did.
And he was the bee's knees for a couple weeks. So now, even though he's listed ahead of him on the depth chart, the DraftKings and most of the numbers are saying Conklin is going to be the guy and not Disley here from a prop standpoint.
Yeah, okay. Good observation. Because, I mean, honestly, like my head tells me the first guy to look at there would be Disley.
He's very low.
At a manageable number of 15.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2 catches, and he's going to go over that. But, again, like what are the projected snaps for him compared to Conklin in the game tonight? And, by the way, they could go double tight end, so both guys are going to get action here a lot in this game just based on the Chargers' injuries on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're probably going to need extra protection here for Herbert when they're going to be throwing the football. And I'm also, which leads me to their pick overall in the first round this past year, Omari and Hampton. Like, what does his usage look like? I was looking at rushing attempts for him tonight in the game. It's 11.5, but now it's getting a little juicy to the over. If you go back and look at attempts by the lead back for the Chargers last year, now there was a split early on between Dobbins and Edwards. Week 1, it was 11-10. Week 2, they controlled Carolina the entire time. It was 18-17. And then from week 3 on, the lead back had 15, 14, 25, 14, 17, 14, 15, 11 carries all the way until late in the season. Mm-hmm. And when they got in front of these teams, they were running the ball a ton. So do they get the lead tonight? And maybe that would be something that you could watch in play, because with a lead, I'd want to bet Hampton's attempts over. But I also am trying to figure out, like, what's going to be the split with Harris, because he's good to go.
Yeah, I know, but he's got the eye with the fireworks. With the fireworks incident in the eye, so I don't know how big they've been keeping that quiet.
Do you trust Harbaugh at all with whatever he says?
No. And plus, Becton's got the flu.
That's another thing with the offensive line, yeah. Because I want to bet Hampton over 11.5, but I maybe that's again, look for something live, or you're better off waiting till you have a little bit more data here in the season to see how that backfield split's going to be.
I'm right back on the kickers.
Dicker
over 1.5. Yep.
Well, be careful with the field on this, though, but if we have a good field, I think Dicker's automatic play here.
Top 5 worst beat with Elliott from 58.
Oh, how bad is that?
That's a horrific beat. The fact that they even tried it.
I know.
He made one the whole year. We got Aubrey 53 in our back pocket.
Sitting there the whole time. I was counting the money.
Elliott from 58. Oh, it's unbelievable. Game had everything. NFL season underway. And the edge goes to those with the best data. VSiN Pro delivers real-time DK and Circa betting splits, so you can see where the public and sharps are putting their money. The email recapping all the best bets, every host, every guest, the dog videos, the pro tools, everything you need to stay ahead of the season. $9.99 or save 50% with an annual subscription. VSiN.com/subscribe today. Get in, join the team, the prop analyzer. The website's fire, all the betting systems, VSiN.com/subscribe. Jump on board.
We will dive into the Sunday slate coming up next. Divisional dogs in this spot are almost 68% ATS going back more than a decade. I will give you those details next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
By the way, coming up tonight after us, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock out here on the West Coast. It is week 1 of the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Matt Humans and 25 handicappers go for Derek Stevens' money that he is putting up at the end of the year. And it's a fun contest, a lot of great action in it, a lot of great handicappers that you can trust throughout the year. None other than this guy. I mean, no more than this guy that we have on the program right now as professional sports bettor. Chuck Edel joins the program, and he is going to be on tonight following us at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific for a full hour with Matt Humans right here on VSiN. Chuck, thanks for the time as always. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
2-1 last week in this spot. 3 college games, obviously, as the NFL wasn't back quite yet. And 2-0 with your totals. Surprise, surprise. You love going at it with the college football totals. And what do you want to do this week? This is the noon kickoff on Fox tomorrow. So it's Iowa and Iowa State, always a must-watch between these two teams. They know each other obviously exceedingly well. The total here on the screen, Chuck, between 42.5 and 43.5. What do you want to do with this game?
Yeah, I'm going to go against the grain, what you normally would think here, but I'm going to go over in the game. This is a different type of Iowa team than we've been watching for a while now. They have they have a quarterback, and they haven't had a quarterback for a long time. I can't remember how long it's been, but they got Gronowski here at the quarterback. He played for South Dakota State, transferred over here. He won the championship with South Dakota State over there, and they're finally going to have some confidence in offense and throwing the ball. And they're going to play faster. They played last week. Now they beat Albany, but they ran 69 plays. It was against Albany, but they weren't rushing to play, and they had a nice lead most of the whole game. They dominated the game. Last year, Iowa was one of the slowest teams in the country. So compared to that 69 plays they ran in that Albany game, they ran 58 plays a game they averaged last year. And, that's a big difference. Now when they're playing a competitive game here in Iowa State, I expect them to, reach right around that 69-70 mark. Iowa State, meanwhile, they do play at a good pace. They average 70.5 plays a game this year. It's only 2 games, but that's about what they averaged last year. 31 points a game they average for the season. And this Iowa State's going to be a good game. Iowa State has their quarterback who played well last year, Rocco Beck. He threw 25 touchdowns last year. So, the total was 35 last year. So they have made adjustments, obviously, but I think they're I think they haven't adjusted quite enough for this one. They're still looking at the slow play, methodical play of Iowa, how they like to just run the ball and use the clock. So I think they're a little off on the number here, and I think going forward, you probably won't be able to get the number, as low as it is right now. So I'm going to go over that total.
All right, very good. Another total. NFL now. Rams against the Texans. Texans have a great defense. Rams also, defense was phenomenal down the stretch. The concerns about Stafford's back. Says he's good to go. We'll see what happens if there's a big hit on him. You played under 44 in this game. Take us through your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, like you said, Pauly, I mean, Stafford's been dealing with the bad back all summer. He's 37 years old now, so he's not getting any younger. And obviously there's a lot of talk. He's got two good wide receivers with Nakua and Adams, and there's a lot of hype, and I think that also helped push the lineup a little bit. But they're going to be tested by a really strong Houston defense. Houston, they rush the passer. They play very good in the secondary. They were fourth in the NFL last year in sacks. They were first in defensive completion percentage, holding teams down. So Stafford's going to get hit. We'll see how he responds. But with this Houston defense, that's the strength of their team right now. I believe that Stafford is, definitely going to be running for his life a little bit. They can run the ball, the Rams, a little bit too. They're, and Stafford, when healthy, has looked good. But Houston, even against the top offenses last year, really kind of kept those teams in check. It was basically their offense, Houston, that struggled. The offensive line last year was terrible, and Stroud was running for his life. They did rebuild the offensive line this year, but it's still a work in progress. It's going to take them time to gel. And I don't think that, that they're going to have a lot of success against Rams' young defense, an improving defense. And you got Mixon's out, Chubb's in. I'm hearing Chubb's not 100%. He's going to play, but he's not the running back that we've been seeing over the before he got injured. And so I do like this game to go under the total.
All right, very good. I was looking based on a lot of the stuff that you were saying right there, and when I was looking into this game earlier this morning, I was looking for a prop in this game, Chuck, on how many combined sacks we would get in this game. I looked at countless sports books. I didn't see one. I think both quarterbacks are going to be under some pressure here.
I agree. You'll see it up either tomorrow or Sunday, and it's probably going to be in the 4.5 range. I agree with you there on the. I think both the defenses here are going to put pressure on the quarterbacks. We'll see how this Houston offensive line. They really struggled last year. They did change a lot of guys around, but the offensive line is one thing. It takes a lot of chemistry. It takes a while for them to gel. So we'll see how they go. Rams have that young, aggressive defense too. They'll be tested.
All right, it's all about cash and tickets. And I know we love that you're a Chicago guy, and you love the Cubs. So it might be difficult here to get to the window on the Packers. As a Chicago guy, are you buying the Packers hype and the second choice to win the NFC now after they acquire Parsons? And what does that mean for week 1, laying 2-3 at home against the Lions?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing here with the Lions, I'm looking at I think the Lions are going to drop down a little bit here. The loss of coordinators, and obviously Ben Johnson, a big loss. He called the plays last year. He had a very creative offense, and I expect their offense not to be as they were last year. I mean, he had the talent there. They still do have the talent. They did lose some guys on the offensive line, but I think they're going to drop down a notch with both coordinators being gone, and they got the one thing Green Bay did do, and part of the reasons they did get Parsons, Green Bay knows they have to beat Detroit. They're trying to build the team now to build Detroit. Goff, he struggles when there is pass pressure on him. I mean, if you give him time, he's one of those guys who could beat you up really good. But if you could figure out a way to put pressure on Goff, and I think that's when they bring Parsons in. I think that's the main reason they bring him in, because to put pressure on him. I'm hoping he's going to play, a decent amount. He'll probably play in the passing situations this game Sunday. He's not, he's still, basically missed the whole, preseason. So he's still getting in shape, but he'll be out there. I know there's a lot of talk about his injury and stuff, but he'll be out there playing. And I think that you will see here. I like the Green Bay. I love LaFleur as a coach. I think he's one of the more underrated coaches out there. I give a big coaching edge here to LaFleur, in the game, period. And the Green Bay at home, I think that it looks like a solid 2 out there right now, and that's kind of what I laid. I was a little late to the dance, but I do like Green Bay in this one.
Very strong. So when you're on tonight, 7:00 Eastern, 4:00 Pacific, can you tease the audience here how many college totals you're going to have for the contest?
Yeah, I'm going to. They only let us have 4 totals on the for the contest. You only could use up to 4 totals, and I'll have 4 totals.
Well, very good.
The Chuck Edel rule.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, sure. They snuck that into the fine print on you, Chuck. Jeez.
Yeah.
All right, pal. Thanks for the time.
Totals next week too. I'll have some totals for us here next week as well. I just was a little behind on my work, but we'll have some totals next week.
Very good. I can't wait to watch and figure out what you're going to be on tonight. Thanks for the time. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, so he won it last year. By the way, if you want to be in the Average Joe contest, this thing has absolutely exploded this year, Pauly, with how big this has gotten. If you win the Average Joe contest, you get in the Friday Night Invitational with guys like Chuck Edel automatically next year. You qualify automatically. You're in.
Huge.
Go to vsin.com/Joe today. It's free to play, weekly and quarterly prizes. Again, the winner, think about that for a second. Not only will you have the bragging rights this year, you can win some of those prizes, which are awesome. Go to vsin.com/Joe to check it out for yourself. But then if you win it, you get to play in it. And by the way, Weston, guy in the cornfield, friend of the show, he was the first participant in it 2 years ago, right? When they said, maybe we should have an Average Joe in there. Weston got in, did really well. Guess how he backed it up last year? What was it, a top 5 finish out of Weston a year ago? So phenomenal stuff. And more than 3,000 again, way more than 3,000, but be in it. And if you're the best, that's going to be pound your chest time for as long as you're alive.
These late games are so good. And the fact that Detroit has won 3 in a row in Lambeau and beat Green Bay 6 of the last 7. I mean, Sal Pal had that great point Wednesday. Packers were a playoff team. They went 1-5 inside the division. And both coaches have been great to start. Campbell, 11-3 ATS in September, and LaFleur, 15-3 ATS first 3 games of the season. What a matchup to start.
All right, up next, we'll get to win some, lose some. We're going to discuss the aftershocks felt from the Cowboys-Eagles game last night. How bad was the beat on the over? How about this? It was 172-1 over the last 20 years under this scenario. You can make it 172-2. Pauly with all the details coming up next here on VSiN.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
This hour is sponsored by Better. Better Picks, a daily fantasy sports app where your sports knowledge turns into real cash fast. Download Better or visit better.app now. Sign up today, get a free $10 and no deposit necessary. Get Better now. Download it, BETR.
Can't wait for tomorrow night's action right here on VSiN. Our next guest is Mike Somich. He hosts Ready, Set, Bet on the weekends with Matt Brown. Tomorrow night, the contest show, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock out here on the West Coast, and Mike is on the Progressive Guest Line. Any guesses how many no picks are going to be into Survivor?
Good prop.
And there's no way we're going to get one in Grandissimo, but how many do you think for the regular one?
Man, I bet it's over 100. I bet it's I'll set the line at 100, 105 and a half. It's amazing how many people. Well, look, I think we're going over 20,000 this year. If we go over 20,000, you kind of have to extrapolate things out, right? Add about 50% more than last year. I wouldn't be shocked if we see 100 plus no picks.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I go 75 and a half. That's my number.
I'll take the over.
Okay.
I'll take the over for a cocktail.
You got it. Good number.
You know what? I will still be amazed if either one of those numbers hit.
Oh, come on.
I really will be.
Can't be.
Okay.
The last year, too.
Look,
yeah.
We had a no pick last year in week 11. It's amazing how this stuff happens.
True. Yeah. Absolutely. Guy just forgot.
You got a ton of bets, including a bunch of player props as well for week 1. I could not be higher on Bucky Irving this year. I don't think. I got him every which way but loose. Are you betting him in week 1 here against the Falcons?
Oh, I am. Look, this Falcons defense, they tried to fix things over the summer. I don't think it worked. I still don't think they can rush the passer. I don't think that they can stop the run. And you've got wide receiver issues. You got some offensive line issues on the Bucs. I think they're going to want to try and establish the run as much as possible. Bucky Irving, a guy who can rip off a 20-yard run any given moment inside a game. I was expecting his rushing prop to be closer to the high 70s. It's sitting in the high 60s. You can get over 69.5. I love that number on Bucky Irving. Don't hate the idea of playing 100 plus. If you want to play 100 plus parlay with some guys, or you want to take a little piece of them at an elevated number as well. I'm huge on Bucky Irving this year. I played him over the 1,000 yards, which is his number out there for the season. I played 1,500 over. I believe I got that at 6-1. I don't hate the idea of him leading the NFL in rushing. I think this is going to be a Buccaneers team that's going to want to establish the run as much as possible, and you have to respect this pass game as well. So I think it creates more light boxes for Bucky Irving because of the wide receiving core you've got out there.
That's a big number, too, on that, I think, 20-1 shot, if that comes in as well. I like Jacksonville to cover against Carolina, worst defense in the league. How do you want to attack this with the total and maybe some player props if you expect fireworks in Carolina, Jacksonville?
Well, here's the beauty. I don't know what team you were talking about that has the worst defense in the league when we're talking Jacksonville and Carolina, because these are both bottom three to me. I think this is two defenses that really didn't improve in the secondary over the summer. Panthers struggled to stop the run. They do get their D tackle back to start the season. We'll see if that helps on the run, but the secondaries for both these teams is absolutely atrocious. This is a total I started betting when it opened at 45 earlier this summer. It's consistently ticked up a half point every little bit. We're seeing some 46.5 in the market, some 47 in the market. I think this one flies over. These are two Cincinnati light teams in my mind, where you've got good weapons on the outside. You've got a decent offensive line with Carolina. They did a lot to improve that over the summer. And you've got quarterbacks who are competent with defenses that absolutely stink. So I'll take the over here at 46 and a half or 47, depending on where you're going to get it. I think it's good to 47 and a half. That's where I'd start to lay off it. And I don't understand why Xavier Legette's being priced like a low-end wide receiver too. He's coming in here as essentially the wide receiver one with Tet McMillan. I think he gets just as many targets as Tet McMillan right out of the gate. And if you talk to the Panthers secondary, they were raving about Legette and what he was able to do during the offseason. He's entering year two as a wide receiver. We often see the jump there. His prop's sitting at 37.5. That is disgustingly low for a game that I think is going to go over 47 and be led by the wide receiving core. So I'll take Legette over the 37.5 reception yards, and I played him 70 plus. You can get that at 4-1. I think it's likely you're going to see both of those wide receivers go for 70 plus. So I'll take that as well.
Love it. We get the Dolphins playing indoors here, so a fast track against the Colts. And, obviously a ton of speed on this team. I think I'm going to play Achane under, though, because he's a little bit banged up and nothing but steam here in Ollie Gordon in the preseason. Are you expecting points in this game? And then which player do you want to attack it with?
Oh, I think there's going to be a lot of points here. I mean, again, this is going to be a reoccurring story as we go through the season. The NFL secondaries are just weak this year, and this is two of them that are atrocious. The Dolphins didn't do anything to address Jalen Ramsey leaving town. They have essentially have a below backup capable cornerbacks starting out the year for them, and the safeties aren't any better. You flip over to the Colts side, Xavier Howard's going to be their starter. He hasn't played since 2013, and he's their number one quarterback. Just imagine what the rest of that secondary is going to look like. I like the over here at 46.5. I think both these offenses are going to click. We saw Tua and we saw Daniel Jones both play in the preseason, so not worried about rust on this side. And then, look, I'm going to buy into the narrative a little bit here. I think Tyreek Hill is going to get fed in this game. He knows how to burn Xavier Howard. He got the practice Xavier Howard for a while. He got the practice against him. His reception yards is sitting at 72.5. I love the over on that number. I like him over 100 yards in this game as well, plus 245. Not a big Tyreek Hill fan throughout the season, but this is one of those spots where they want him to be happy. This is an opportunity to make him happy against a bad secondary. I think the Dolphins feed Hill on Sunday, so I'll take the over 72.5 and 100 plus yards at plus 245.
Okay, Seattle at home, going back in week one. They've won 9 of 10, and doesn't sound good for McCaffrey with the calf. 43.5 the total. How about a prop here? And if you think the Seahawks pull a mild upset, 49ers still 1.5.
So I played this game before we found out the McCaffrey news because I still like this Seahawks team over the Niners team. When you look at the 49ers defense specifically, it's kind of a mess. I mean, you've got Bosa, you've got a very good linebacker in Warner, you've got one corner in Lenore. The other 8 starters on defense are not good for this San Francisco team, and they really struggled stopping the run last year. Enter Clint Kubiak, who is the OC down in New Orleans. He shifts over to Seattle. The offensive coordinator position was a big issue for them last year. They fired Grubb midseason. Now they bring in someone who's going to implement a zone stretch run scheme. Well, guess what Kenneth Walker's really good at? Zone stretch runs, and that's what this San Francisco team can't stop. This is just a nightmare matchup for San Francisco coming in here. I expect a much better Seattle offensive line. I love the Gray Zabel first-round pick. He looked awesome in the preseason. He should be able to get to the second level against this 49ers defense. That means I think Kenneth Walker has a huge game. I played the Seahawks plus 125 in this spot. I would still take them at minus 105. I think this is the wrong team favored with or without McCaffrey in this lineup. At this point, I'd wait, because if McCaffrey gets reinserted, you're going to get a better number on this Seahawks side. And I mentioned Kenneth Walker. I'm over on his rush prop. He's sitting at 61.5 yards in this game. I think he has the opportunity to go for a monster game, maybe rip off 1 or 2 big runs. If you want to get crazy, you can get Walker at 25-1 to lead week 1 of the NFL in rushing. I've got that one in my account for, little pizza money bet there, because I do think this San Francisco rush defense is still going to struggle this season.
No, I love where your head's at. It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, VSiN host Mike Somich. His show on the weekends with Matt Brown is called Ready, Set, Bet. And tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock out here in the West Coast, the contest show. Derek Stevens, Jeff Benson will pop on as well. To me, it's can't miss television every single week. So I love that bet with Walker. Look, in this Houston Rams game, I brought this up to Chuck Edel in the previous hour. I think both quarterbacks, there's an angle here where they're going to be under duress. That front for the Houston Texans, I mean, it's as good as it gets with Anderson and Hunter on the edge. And that front four for the Rams, so young, so good. And the Texans might have the worst offensive line in football. So how are you attacking that game?
I am shocked we haven't seen steam toward the under here. It actually ticked back up to 44 yesterday in some places. We're back to 43.5. I think this is good to 42. I don't understand why we're having such a high total here. It's not just the fact that I think Houston has the best defense in football. You mentioned the edges. The edges are awesome. Hey, guess what? So's the linebacking core. And I talked about the weak secondaries in the NFL. The Texans aren't one of them. They have one of the best cornerbacks in Stingley. They've got a great second guy in Laster. The safeties are strong as well. And Matt Stafford didn't play in the preseason. We've seen this consistently. Quarterbacks that did not play in the preseason struggle often in week 1. I think that's going to be a problem for Matt Stafford and this Rams team. I think this Houston defense is going to be ready to fire right out of the gate. And then you mentioned the bugaboo on Houston. Their offensive line stinks. And this is not a team you want to face if your offensive line stinks. So I just don't see the Texans being able to consistently move the football on the Rams here. Love the under at 43.5. I played quite a bit of under first half at 21.5 as well. If you're going to see the Rams offense be slow out of the gate because of the lack of preseason experience, I think it's really going to show in the first half too. So love the under in this game. Love the under in the first half. Wrote an article about week 2 bets I really like. I took the Texans under in week 2 as well. They're taking on the Bucs in week 2. I think that's another offense the Texans can stop and another defense their offense is going to have trouble with.
Very good. Yeah, I read that article. You're going to do that every week at vsin.com. One more bet here. Who gets targets from J.J. McCarthy for the Vikings Monday night in his first ever game against the Bears?
I think you got to look at TJ Hawkinson. He came back from injury last year, faced the Bears twice after he returned from injury. He had 12 catches on 17 targets in those 2 games. The Bears were bottom 5 against tight ends last year. They didn't make any meaningful changes on the defense that I think is going to change their inability to cover the tight end. And then you've got not a rookie quarterback, a second-year quarterback, but making his first real NFL start here. The safety valve is going to be the tight end. Addison not in the lineup, so you've got Justin Jefferson who's going to draw the majority of the coverage. I think that sets up incredibly well for Hawkinson to have a very good Monday Night Football game here. His reception sitting at 4.5. We'll go over 4.5 plus 100 for Hawkinson receptions.
Dynamite analysis. You can follow Mike on X. He is at SamoBomb18. Again, Ready, Set, Bet, Saturday and Sundays with Matt Brown and the contest show, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, every single Saturday night. And you're going to join us every Friday on this show as well. Looking forward to it, Mike. Best of luck in week 1. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, every Friday we'll be here at 2 o'clock. And make sure you check out Sharp Money podcast, going to be dropping Monday morning, giving instant reactions from everything that happened over the weekend in the NFL and college slates.
Very good. Love it. And Mike joined us here on the Progressive Guest Line. Rapid fire there. A lot of bets.
Yep.
A lot of stuff to put in the account.
Cubs won 11-5. Alcaraz won a second set tiebreaker.
Okay.
He's up 2 sets to none on Joker.
More NFL next. I will give you a stat with home teams that are on a 3-17-1 ATS run in this point spread range since 2015. Next on VSiN.
He knows the quarterback was on coke if his girlfriend was knocked up.
These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your unborn children's children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
All right, great to have it back. Ham sandwich, bizarre game. No one could stop anyone for the first 8 drives, and then no points after the long delay. Eagles minus 6.5, the good number. No good. Couldn't get there. Lucky to win the game. Cowboys' longest made field goal. What a vicious beat. What a vicious beat. 53 yards in our pocket early with Aubrey. And Elliott, who had made one 50-yard field goal last year. Sirianni trots him out from 58. Bang. How about it? Both teams to make a 33-yard field goal winner. Shortest touchdown under 1.5 winner. Dak 250 yards. No good. Should have had it, though. CeeDee Lamb let him down. Dropped 2 long passes. Herbert, no interception tonight. Remember, he only had 3 in the regular season last year. And then 4 in the playoff loss. Chiefs money line. 7 in a row against the Chargers. So good in the division. Andy Reid, week 1. Jacksonville laying 3.5 against Carolina. Scatterboo anytime touchdown. 3-1. Ollie Gordon anytime touchdown plus 250. Don't mind I like his rushing yards over as well. It was 28.5. That's the pending. And then all the new. Don't mind got to come right back with the shortest touchdown again in the primetime game. Under minus 150, under 1.5 yards. Both teams to make a 33-yard field goal. Boswell over 1.5 made field goals. Remember what he did last year, week 1. 6 for 6 in the win against Atlanta. Metcalf over 53.5 yards for Pittsburgh. And the final tomorrow in the afternoon with the ladies. Sabalenka against Anisimova over 22.5 games. Should be a good one. Good luck.
All right. Recapping last night, Lamb went over 71.5. That was good in the first half. He could have had 200 last night.
Oh.
You documented longest field goal. That one hurt. No good. Okay, so for this weekend, some of the stuff that we had up all week, some of the stuff is going to be brand new. Documented this earlier in the show. Zach Charbonnet over 7.5 receiving yards, even with Kenneth Walker playing last year when they split time in the backfield. Charbonnet went over this number in 8 out of 11 games. And we're talking about like the targets for Seattle this year. It's JSN, a washed Cooper Kupp. I think the running backs, they did this last year, a little bit the year before. They're great targets out of the backfield. I think they're going to be active in the passing game with Sam Darnold. RJ Harvey over 2.5 receptions. Again, last year, Javonte Williams had 70 targets and 52 snags for Denver. The only backs with more targets, Kamara, Achane, Hall, and Robinson. Now, he's going to be handcuffed with Dobbins. Dobbins has had 73 targets in his career, 37 games. So that's a bet. Some of the stuff that we have pending. Ole Miss minus 10, bad number, money on Kentucky now 9.5. I think Ole Miss has a chance to blow them out, though. Liberty 6.5 against Jacksonville State. And a couple of other player props I bet earlier in the week. Caleb Johnson over 17.5 rushing yards. Just a number grab there for Pittsburgh. Other books at 26.5. J.J. McCarthy over 11.5 rushing Monday night minus 140.
Good luck. G-Bank built with sports bettors in mind. Right now, earn a $50 cashback reward bonus once you're approved and your account's open with the G-Bank Visa Signature Card. Most credit cards treat sports books and gaming transactions as cash advances, even when it's your own money. G-Bank treats them as regular purchases, no cash advance fees, saving you up to 3 to 5% on every deposit. Plus, you'll earn 1% cash back on all eligible sports books and gaming transactions, 2% cash back on everything else you have to buy. Apply now. VSiN.com/GBank. VSiN.com/GBank. Go get it.
All right. Closing up shop here, week 1. Todd joins the show right now. Former prison guard, as we learned during the break, but more importantly here, one of the winners of the original Circus Survivor contest.
Yes, sir.
You had 2 entries that year, and you ran the table with one of them?
Yeah, don't just say one. It's 2, buddy.
You ran the table with both?
What's that?
You ran the table with both?
Ran to both, man. I had 3 total. Went first 11 weeks, put all 3 on one team, got clipped 1 time, put 2 on one, lost on the other, and the remaining weeks put 2 on one team and went all the way through. So the 1 week I decided to go different cost me, or I would have won 3.
Is that right? Wow. So your handle is Love My Baxter.
Yep.
You were on the show after you won.
Yes, sir.
Is that your strategy like every year, is to shove with your entries?
Yeah, I usually just shove, especially in the beginning. I don't want to get cute. No reason to zig and zag. Let everybody else do dumb decisions. And I'm just going to take the best team that I think is going to win. And then hopefully as it goes further, then I have more entries. Then I can do little different things. But at first, if I lose on the best team, then I lose. And technically, if you do lose in the beginning, less stress in your life, because you already know as this contest goes on, it's stressful, man.
It really is.
See this hair I got? What hair? Exactly, man. I had a full set of hair, man, before, and now I'm bald. I don't know if that's my wife and kids causing that, but it's part of the
Survivor.
contest.
Yeah. You also told us famously on your appearance when you were on several years ago now, when we asked, are you going to buy anything? Like, what's going to be the first purchase? You're like, no, nothing stupid. 5 minutes later, a brand new Corvette.
Still got the Corvette. It's in the garage. 7,500 miles on it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it, man. I got to win this contest this year, and I got to upgrade, man. I could pass that Corvette down to somebody else. But as you guys say, the first year I won it, that's pizza money. This is real money, man. So I need to win this contest. I got some shares in Grandissimo going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't have no control, so that kind of sucks. Like, I'm going to get a text or an email the night before. This is who we're riding with. It is what it is, but it's all good, man. I got super contests going on at Westgate. Yeah, man, I'm putting my eggs all over the place. You know, us guys that gamble, man, you don't put your eggs in one basket, man. You got to spread them out, and hopefully I win something.
How many entries this year in Circus Survivor?
I'm only doing 5 because I got 5 shares of Grandissimo, 5 different teams at about 5%. So that's another 25 G's. Whoa. I got Survivor at Westgate. That's 5 G's. I got Gold. That's 5 G's. DraftKings weekly, big money every week doing that. What else am I missing? I got some other stuff going. I got other contests going on too, man. So
I bet.
Yeah, this is the best time of year. My wife always says, right around now, I'll see you in February, because we're grinding. You're grinding right now, man.
Right.
Like, yeah, no sleep, no time to sleep.
What do you expect out of Denver?
That's what I'm taking. How'd you read my mind?
No.
All 5 on Denver.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
If I had more, I would put all 10 on Denver.
Yep.
So Denver's the play, man. Same quarterback, same receiver, Sutton, upgraded with Ingram, same quarterback. I think I just said that. Same coaching staff, offense coordinator, defense coordinator, head coach, altitude, going against a rookie quarterback.
Bam. Yep.
What, really? Middle 30s. Lockett, middle 30s. Pollard, injury prone. Spears is already hurt. Nah, man, there's no way they're going into Denver and winning. And if they do, it's okay, because I was on the team that I thought had the best chance of winning. So it is what it is, man. Arizona, who's Kyler Murray? Expectations are high. Saints, they are gonna be garbage, but it is the first game of the season. Rookie head coach. Somehow, some way, they're gonna play out of their mind that game, and they're gonna end up losing by 3 or winning by 3. I think it's gonna be close.
Why not Washington?
Washington, I don't like. Daniels, great rookie season. He might be on the decline this year, and the Giants' D-line is gonna be good, and they're gonna surprise some teams. Russell Wilson, good veteran. Winston, good veteran. Neighbors, beast. And I think that game could be close, and they can surprise them.
I like what you said, by the way, if you lose on Denver. Like, we talk about this all the time, right, Todd?
Yep.
Are you going to go to bed that night and be like, I'm okay. I'm okay with the decision.
Yep.
So you just already said that. Like, if Denver loses, you're okay with it because you think that they are the absolute nuts here for week 1.
Yeah, if you look at everything that you're supposed to look at when you're handicapping, especially Denver's defense, their defense is sick.
Yep.
They should be one of the top 3 defenses. I'm a Niner fan. They got Greenlaw. I don't think he's out, though. I just saw he's out.
Yeah,
and they got the Samoan cat.
Yeah.
But,
very good.
Yeah.
Very good
He's
pickup.
good, but their defense, Surtain's a beast, and then Moss is a beast, the other corner. Yeah, man, they got one of the best defenses, rookie quarterback. I love Tennessee's quarterback. He is going to be good. He probably will have some good wins this year. First game on the road, elevation. These dudes don't play in preseason. Second quarter, these dudes will be gassed, and hopefully Denver gets the lead, and that defense will just eat.
Yeah. How many dogs do you have?
1 dog, man. Baxter's
That's
it,
Baxter.
man. I'm never going to cheat on Baxter. That's the love of my life.
What kind?
He's a terrier.
Okay.
And I miss him right now, man. So by coming here, when I'm handicapping, by missing him right now, it pisses me off. So I love my dog, man. You guys might think I'm crazy. My dog sleeps in my bed.
Yeah.
My dog is loyal, man.
Good.
Wife and kids, they are loyal, but as loyal as a dog, sorry, honey. I know you're out here listening, and I'm probably going to sleep on the couch when I get home. Kids, you guys are older. You'll need something, so you guys will be nice to me. My kids, they're older anyway. But yeah, man, dogs are the best. Man's best friend. I know you guys have them.
Damn right. You know it.
I just came back from Omaha.
Yeah.
My son lost his dog. Yeah, man, my son's going through tough times.
Condolences.
Yeah, man, the dog had a heart attack. Love you guys. Thanks for the invite. I'm off to go see the Eagles at the Spear.
As the
very nice.
Really?
That's why I'm here.
Okay, get a recap. I'll call you later. The official horse racing partner of VEASAN, first bet built for bettors who demand more. Isn't about just placing a bet, helping bettors of all levels with tools that provide data-driven insights, help you make smarter bets. The tools give you win, play, show probabilities for each runner. You can quickly and easily identify the value plays. Take advantage. $250 sign up now. VEASAN 250. Go get it. VEASAN 250. Firstbet.com.
The next show following us is so good throughout the entire year. The Circa Friday Football Invitational. Chuck Edel in studio with Matt Humans next.